Hey y'all, today I'm showing you guys how to create that effortless sun-kissed surfer look. Think California salty hair and streaks of blonde that look like you earned them on the way. These are my inspos. It's giving undone and most importantly, surfer. I'm going to start off by mixing my favorite lightener, Wella Blondor, and I'm using a 1 to 1.5 mixing ratio with my 20 volume developer. This is going to give me the ultra smooth consistency that I'm looking for while still controlling the power of my lift. And always remember, fold, don't whisk your lightener. For this look, I really want to make sure that I am paying attention to where the sun would naturally hit. So with that in mind, I'm going to use a mohawk sectioning. And I'm going to take my tail comb to really understand where the parietal ridge lays, and that is exactly where I'm going to be parting. This is going to help me understand on every head shape exactly where to part off for the sides. Next, I need to part off through the back. So I'm going to be using the mastoid process. This is the indicator of what hair separates from the front and the back. Now it's color time, and I'm using diagonal back sections. This way I can get the most natural sun-kissed look around the face. Starting off, I'm going to use a fine weave, and this is going to ensure no harsh lines, which is really the opposite of what the sun is going to create. I'm using my Wella Studio board throughout this process to really ensure a smooth canvas to paint on. And as you can see, I am feathering my lightener up to the front. Keeping some level of root is really going to ensure that messy, undone look that the sun will naturally give you. Pro tip, use that lip in the back of the foil to really lock it in and make sure you get no bleeders. As I move on, I'm going to pivot across the side of the head. You can see it depicted here. What that means is I'm going to slowly get more horizontal with my sectioning, allowing me to get some level of coverage while also remaining seamless. I'm going to continue with a fine weave for this foil, and as I move up the section, I'm going to start changing my techniques. Using things like teasy lights and slices to create a bolder look throughout the center, allowing me to have the coverage. Remember, when teasy lighting, what goes up must come down. Meaning, when I tease, whatever's going to come down is going to give me a beautiful blend, because the blend doesn't just happen with a root tap or a smudge. The blend happens in the foil and in our sectioning. Did you guys know that the reason surfers' hair gets lighter accidentally is a mix between the sun and the salt water? It's mostly responsible due to the UV rays of the sunlight, but that, along with the saltiness in the water, adds and contributes to surfers becoming that accidental blonde bombshell. This last section here is going to be completely horizontal, and it is going to finish off our pivoting sections. Using the same techniques when painting on my lightener as the foils prior, I am just finishing off that last foil to connect the sides to the front. Now I'm working in the mohawk sectioning after completing both sides. I'm continuing with fine weaves all throughout this section to really ensure the most seamless blend when this hair falls down. And understanding your haircut is the first step to understanding your color placement. This is going to be some level of a surfer kind of shag. So I need to understand that some of the foils are going to fall forward in the bang section. So really ensuring that I still get that beautiful blend while getting those pops of color is exactly why I chose to do a mohawk section. I'm continuing this technique all the way up the front of the head, and I am going to space my foils about a finger width apart because I really want to see the dimension without feeling overpowered by blonde. Now I'm here in the back section, and I'm really going to focus these foils on the crown, because like I said in the beginning of the video, We are trying to mimic the sun's natural rays, meaning the sun is really only going to hit the top of the head. Places like the nape and the bottom of the ears are really going to maintain that depth, which is why our placement is so important when trying to mimic this look. I'm continuing this technique up through the crown, maintaining my finger width distance, allowing myself to really marry both the front and the back together. Using Wella Color Touch 871 and 93, I am glazing my highlight. Notice how I'm not using any root smudges or chaps. This is because your highlights blend should really be created within the foil, both with saturation and placement. Now that doesn't mean I never root smudge, but in a time like this where I really want to accentuate the peaks and the troughs, as I like to call it, also known as the highs and the lows, you really want to make sure that you are not getting rid of that and allowing the finished product to mimic the natural sun exposure. And look at him. He's outside, he's running, he's having fun, and is giving shaggy. Catch me next time. Peace.